Virgo, stop. Stop counting. Stop measuring. Stop telling yourself that the kind of abundance heading your way is something you have to earn in increments, that love must arrive on the installment plan, that the universe parcels out its miracles in doses small enough not to frighten you. What is moving toward you right now is not a drip. It is not a trickle. It is not a slow climb up a ladder you have been told to be grateful for. It is a tidal wave of permanent, irreversible, immediate devotion, and it is being delivered by someone who does not need your permission to arrive, but who is waiting, barely, impatiently, with a hunger that is keeping them awake at night for you to finally see what they have already seen. This person is wealthy, Virgo, and I do not mean comfortable. I do not mean they have a nice car and a savings account. I mean wealthy in the kind of way that changes the temperature of a room when they enter it. Wealthy in the way that makes other people whisper when they speak. Wealthy in the way that has made them ruthless in business, untouchable in reputation, and completely, devastatingly alone in their personal life. And this person, this powerhouse who has spent decades building walls so high that no one has been able to scale them, has been watching you, studying you, evaluating you with the same precision they use to assess billion-dollar acquisitions. And they have reached a verdict, a final, irrevocable, immediate verdict. They want you, not for a season, not for a phase, not for the thrill of the chase or the novelty of your attention. They want you forever, immediately, today. And the reason they want you has nothing to do with what you look like, what you do for a living, or who you know. It has everything to do with one quality, one singular, unmistakable, priceless quality that you have been dismissing as ordinary, as just the way you are, as nothing special. And your future, Virgo, the future that this person can see with a clarity that borders on prophecy, is the other half of the equation that has them preparing to move mountains to claim you. Before we go any further into the architecture of what is coming, if your breath just caught, if your hands just went still, if the name of someone specific or the vague electric sense of an approaching destiny just lit up behind your ribs like a flare, then stop and anchor yourself here. Support this channel by liking this transmission, subscribing, and leaving your energy in the comments below. These messages are precision guided, Virgo. They hunt down the exact soul who is meant to receive them at the exact moment before destiny knocks, and your engagement keeps this frequency burning for every other Virgo who needs to know that their ordinary is someone else's irreplaceable. There is so much more to reveal, and the depth of what is coming will change absolutely everything you thought you knew about your own value. Now, let me tell you about this person, because they are not who you think they are. They are not the flashy influencer. They are not the trust fund heir playing at entrepreneurship. They are not the person who posts their wealth for validation. This person is quiet power, old money, or new money with old soul discipline. They move in rooms where decisions are made that shape industries, that alter landscapes, that determine the flow of resources most people will never know exist. They have spent years, maybe decades, cultivating an empire, brick by brick, deal by deal, risk by calculated risk. They have become so adept at reading people that they can assess a person's character in under 60 seconds. They have been surrounded by gold diggers, opportunists, social climbers, and brilliant parasites who know exactly which words to use to unlock the vault. They have been proposed to by people who saw them as a retirement plan. They have been loved by people who love their lifestyle more than their soul. They have been pursued by the beautiful, the talented, the well-connected, and the strategically ambitious. And they have turned every single one of them away, not because they are cold, not because they are incapable of love, but because they have a standard that money cannot buy and time cannot manufacture. They have been searching for someone who possesses a quality so rare that they had begun to believe it no longer existed in the modern world. And then they found you. They did not meet you at a gala, Virgo. They did not meet you in a boardroom or through a mutual friend trying to set them up. They found you in the ordinary. They saw you at your workplace, or in your community, or through a screen, or in a passing moment that should have been forgettable, but was not. They saw you doing what you do. They saw you organizing what others overlook. They saw you fixing what others abandon. They saw you taking responsibility for details that no one else would notice. And they saw you doing it without fanfare, without expectation of reward, without the performative gratitude that most people demand for the smallest effort. They watched you handle a crisis with a calm that made everyone around you breathe easier. They watched you take care of someone who could not repay you. They watched you walk away from a shortcut because it compromised your integrity. They watched you stay late, wake early, double check, follow through, and hold the line when everyone else was ready to let it fall. And in those moments, Virgo, something inside them cracked open. Not a romantic crack, not the shallow flutter of attraction, a structural crack, a foundational shift, because they recognized something they had not seen in years, maybe ever. They recognized stewardship. That is the quality, Virgo. That is the one thing. Stewardship, the ancient, almost forgotten art of caring for what has been entrusted to you as if it were sacred. You do not just manage things. You do not just organize or plan or execute. You steward. You protect the value of what is in your hands. You multiply it. You tend to it. You treat resources, whether they are emotional, material, relational, or spiritual, with a reverence that most people reserve only for what they personally own. This wealthy person has spent their life accumulating, building, gathering, defending their wealth against a world that wanted to take it, and they are exhausted, Virgo. They are exhausted from being the only one who cares about the foundation. They are exhausted from surrounding themselves with people who see their empire as a playground, a shopping spree, a backdrop for their own ego. They have met people who wanted to spend their money. They have met people who wanted to display their money. They have met people who wanted to borrow their influence, but they have never met someone who made them feel that their wealth would be safe, that their legacy would be honored, that their life's work would not be frittered away by the next generation of careless hands until they saw you, until they watched you treat a small responsibility with such meticulous devotion that they realized this person does not need to be taught how to build. This person already knows how to protect what matters. This person is a fortress disguised as a human being. And I need that in my life. I need that beside me. I need that sleeping in my home, raising my children, walking through my halls, touching the things I have built, and making them more valuable simply by her presence, by his integrity, by their invisible, unshakable devotion to doing things right. They see your future, Virgo. And this is the second half of the equation that has them moving with such terrifying speed. It is not just who you are now, it is who they know you are becoming. They have a gift for seeing potential. It is how they built their wealth. They can look at a piece of land and see a city. They can look at a struggling company and see an empire. And when they look at you, they do not see your current circumstances. They do not see the bills you are juggling, the job that undervalues you, the apartment that feels too small, the dreams you have been postponing because you have been too busy surviving. They see the empire inside you. They see the future version of you who runs foundations, who builds institutions, who transforms the lives of everyone you touch with the same quiet excellence you bring to everything now. They see your future because they recognize it. It mirrors their own trajectory. The difference is that they had to learn ruthlessness to get where they are. You did not. You kept your softness. You kept your ethics. You kept your refusal to step on others, to climb higher. And to them, that is not a weakness. That is the rarest commodity on earth. That is the missing ingredient in their own legacy. They have the wealth, they have the power, they have the network, but they do not have the soul that knows how to ground it all in something eternal. And they see that soul in you. They see that your future is not just success, it is significance. It is a life where abundance flows not because you chased it, but because you protected it, nurtured it, and allowed it to serve something greater than yourself. They want to attach their name to that future. They want to pour their resources into that future. They want to clear the path for that future with a ferocity that would shock you if you knew the full extent of what they are already planning. They are preparing right now, Virgo. In this exact moment, while you are listening to this message, they are making moves. They are researching you more deeply than you research yourself. They know your history. They know your patterns. They know the names of the people who have let you down, and they are furious on your behalf with a protective rage that feels almost primal. They are talking to their lawyers, their advisors, their closest confidants, not about whether to pursue you, but about how to do it in a way that does not frighten you away. Because they know you, Virgo. They know that grand gestures make you suspicious. They know that too much too fast triggers your defense mechanisms. They know that you do not trust easily, that you have been burned by people who saw your goodness as weakness, that you have learned to be careful with your heart because you have given it to people who used it as a placeholder while they looked for something shinier. They are strategizing how to approach you with a patience that costs them everything, because every instinct in their body is screaming to rush to your door, to claim you, to remove every obstacle between you and the life they know you deserve. But they are holding back. They are exercising a self-control that they have never had to exercise in business, because in business they can be ruthless, they can take what they want, they can command and receive. But with you, they are terrified of being too much, terrified of being seen as just another person who wants to use you, terrified that if they move too fast, you will bolt and they will lose the one thing they have ever truly wanted to possess, not your body, not your time, not your gratitude, your stewardship, your presence, your future. They want to marry you, Virgo. I need you to hear this with the weight it deserves. They are not looking for a girlfriend. They are not looking for a situationship. They are not looking for a partner to parade at events. They are looking for a spouse, a permanent, legal, irrevocable, eternal union. They want to put a ring on your finger, not as a transaction, but as a declaration that they have found the one person on earth who makes their wealth feel meaningful instead of heavy. The one person who can look at their empire and see not a playground, but a responsibility. The one person whose future is so intertwined with their own that separating the two would be like trying to unweave a tapestry thread by thread. They want to marry you because they know with a certainty that has nothing to do with logic and everything to do with soul recognition that you are the only person who will not be destroyed by their lifestyle. Most people would be corrupted by sudden access to their resources. Most people would become lazy, entitled, careless, or obsessed with status. But you would become more powerful, more grounded, more able to do the work you were born to do. You would take their wealth and build schools, heal communities, create sanctuaries, protect the vulnerable. You would steward their fortune better than they have, and that is the most arousing, most compelling, most irresistible thought they have ever had. The thought that their money, their power, their name could finally be placed in hands that would not waste them, hands that would honor them, hands that would turn them into a legacy that outlives them both. And your future, Virgo, the future they see so clearly, is the reason they are moving immediately. Not next year, not after they have tested the waters, not after they have played games or kept their options open, immediately. Because they understand something about time that you have not yet accepted. They understand that the future is not a distant country you travel to. It is a seed you plant today, and every day that passes without you in their life is a day their empire remains incomplete. Every day they spend without your stewardship is a day their wealth leaks into the void of meaningless consumption. Every day they wake up alone in a bed that could fit 10 people and feel the hollowness of having no one to share it with, who would care about the foundation of the house more than the thread count of the sheets. They are done waiting. They are done searching. They are done pretending that the models, the executives, the socialites, the carefully vetted candidates their world keeps throwing at them could ever be what you are. They have seen the future, and in every version of it that feels worth living, you are standing beside them, not behind them, not beneath them, beside them, equal in your stewardship, equal in your vision, equal in the quiet, devastating power of your integrity. They are going to approach you, Virgo, and when they do, it is going to feel surreal. It is going to feel like a movie scene that you are not prepared to star in. They are going to show up with an offer that feels impossible, not just of their heart, but of their resources. They are going to want to clear your debts. They are going to want to move you into a space that matches your frequency. They are going to want to invest in your dreams with a generosity that makes you want to refuse out of pride. And you are going to have to decide in that moment whether you are willing to receive. Because that is your wound, Virgo. That is the place where you are broken. You have been taught that receiving is dangerous, that abundance must be earned through suffering, that if something comes too easily, it is either a trap or a mistake. You have been taught to distrust the wealthy, to assume that their interest in you must be predatory, that their desire must be about possession rather than partnership. And I am telling you with every fiber of my intuitive being that this person is the exception, not because they are perfect, not because they are without ego or flaw, but because they recognize in you the one thing they have been starving for: a steward, a guardian, a partner who will not let their legacy become dust. They want you to know that they see your future, Virgo. They see the empire you are going to build, with or without them. They see the lives you are going to change. They see the institutions, the foundations, the sanctuaries, the works of art, the healing spaces, the communities that will flourish because you touched them. And they do not want to take credit for that future. They want to fund it. They want to protect it. They want to stand in the background of your greatness like a silent sentinel, making sure that you never have to dilute your vision because of financial fear ever again. They want to be the wind beneath wings that were always strong enough to fly but have been clipped by circumstance. And they are willing to pay any price, bear any burden, fight any battle to make sure that your future arrives unimpeded. Because they know, with the same certainty that they know their own net worth, that your future is not just yours. It belongs to everyone who will be healed by it. And they cannot bear the thought of a world that is deprived of your full expression because you were too busy surviving to thrive. But Virgo, I need to warn you, this is going to trigger you. The arrival of this person, this offer, this immediate and permanent devotion is going to activate every insecurity you have ever buried. You are going to want to sabotage it. You are going to want to list all the reasons why it cannot work. The age difference, if there is one. The lifestyle gap. The fear that you are not polished enough, not educated enough, not connected enough, not worthy enough to stand beside someone of their stature. You are going to worry that people will say you are a gold digger, even though you have never chased money a day in your life. You are going to worry that you will lose yourself, that their world will swallow you, that you will become an accessory in their story instead of the protagonist of your own. And those fears are valid. They are the fears of a person who has had to fight for every scrap of independence. But I need you to hear this. Your stewardship does not disappear in the presence of wealth. It expands. You will not lose yourself in their world. You will transform their world into something that finally reflects your values. You will not be swallowed. You will be the ground beneath their feet, the reason their empire finally has a soul. And anyone who calls you a gold digger will be silenced by the evidence of your character, by the way you handle their resources with more care than they do, by the way you redirect abundance toward service rather than spectacle. By the way, you remain exactly who you are, humble, meticulous, devoted, grounded, while standing in rooms that would make most people lose their minds with vanity. This person knows your fears, Virgo. They have anticipated them. They have watched you long enough to understand that you do not trust easily, that you do not impress easily, that you cannot be bought. And that is why they love you. That is why they are willing to wait, to prove, to demonstrate through consistent, patient, unglamorous action that they are not here to collect you. They are here to partner with you. They are here to build with you. They are here to place their fortune, their name, their future, and their heart into your hands and say, I know you will not break these. I know you will not waste these. I know you will turn these into something eternal. And that trust, Virgo, that absolute, terrifying trust from someone who has never trusted anyone, is the most valuable gift you will ever receive. It is worth more than the houses. It is worth more than the cars. It is worth more than the accounts and the investments and the access, because it is the gift of being seen, truly seen, not for what you can provide in a moment, but for what you will protect across a lifetime. They are preparing the offer right now, Virgo. It is being written, it is being structured, it is being wrapped in the kind of legal and emotional precision that this person brings to everything they value. And when they deliver it, it will not be with flowers and fireworks, though there may be those too. It will be with a seriousness that matches your own, a proposal, not just of marriage, but of mission, a declaration that from this day forward, their resources are your resources, their platform is your platform, their protection is your protection, and their future is your future. And they will ask you, with a voice that shakes despite their power, if you are willing to steward them, if you are willing to take on the responsibility of being the one person they can finally rest with, if you are willing to be their home, their sanctuary, their grounding wire in a world that has always tried to blow them off course. And Virgo, when they ask, you are going to feel the weight of the question. You are going to feel the centuries of loneliness, the decades of overfunctioning, the years of being the responsible one while everyone else played, all of it rising to the surface and asking, am I allowed to be chosen? Am I allowed to be valued? Am I allowed to have someone see my ordinary devotion as the extraordinary treasure it has always been? Yes, the answer is yes. You are allowed. You are worthy. You have been preparing for this stewardship your entire life without knowing it. Every time you stayed late, every time you cleaned up someone else's mess, every time you refused to cut corners, every time you protected a secret, honored a confidence, tended to a detail that no one else would notice, you were training, you were becoming the person who could hold this level of abundance without being destroyed by it. You were becoming the steward that this wealthy, powerful, exhausted soul has been searching for across every continent, every party, every boardroom, every hollow relationship. And now the training is complete. The position is open. The offer is on the table. And your future, the one they see so clearly, is waiting for you to say yes. Do not run from this, Virgo. Do not tell yourself it is too good to be true. Do not let the voices of your past, the ones who undervalued you, the ones who made you feel that your meticulous care was nagging, that your high standards were impossible, that your devotion was boring. Do not let those voices convince you to close the door on the one person who recognizes that your so-called boring is actually the bedrock of empire. You are not too much. You are not too careful. You are not too ordinary. You are exactly the miracle this person has been praying for. And they are coming with their wealth, with their heart, with their immediate and permanent intention to make you the center of their world, not as a trophy, as a steward, as a partner, as the future they cannot build without you. If this message unlocks something in you, if you felt the truth of your own value vibrating through every word, if you are ready to receive the abundance and the devotion that your stewardship has earned, then claim it now. Like this video, subscribe to this channel, leave a comment below declaring that you are ready to be seen, to be chosen, and to step into the future that has been waiting for you. Your energy keeps these messages alive, Virgo, and there is more clarity coming your way very soon. Stand tall, open your hands, and let the universe deliver what you have always deserved.